Well, hi everyone. It's good to be here today. Thank you to the New South Wales Farmers Federation for giving McDonald's the opportunity and me the opportunity to be here today. My name is Robert Sexton, as they said earlier on. I'm the Supply Chain Director for ANZ. I've been with the business for in excess of 20 years, but I'm actually brand new into supply chain. In the short time I've been in the chair, I've certainly appreciated the opportunity to get closer to our suppliers and our producers who support our restaurants to deliver high quality food day in, day out. Now, McDonald's has been in Australia for over 40 years. We started out in Yagoona in the western suburbs of Sydney back in 1971, certainly far humbler beginnings. And when we opened, we were focused on launching an American brand, something different to anything else that you'd see in Australia. We effectively created a family restaurant and served burgers and fries, and the menu's obviously grown quite significantly since that point in time. Today we have more than 960 restaurants. We service in excess of 1.7 million customers each and every day. We have 260 local franchisees who live and work in the community, and we employ more than 105,000 people from all parts of the country, including in excess of 20,000 who work across our regional network in Australia. I started in the restaurants earlier on, per the introduction, in a franchisee organisation, and I've been fortunate to work across many states in the country and many different functions, and really do appreciate the chance to be here today and have the chance to get closer to the farming and agricultural community in New South Wales. Our business is built on the philosophy of a three-legged stool. Simply put, our business wouldn't operate without equally balancing the interests of McDonald's corporate, franchisees and also our suppliers. It's this approach that's fostered many of our supplier relationships which have spanned decades, and we've had many suppliers who've started out supporting one restaurant and over the course of 40 years have grown their business in partnership with ours, such as Tony Pale, our pickle supplier. He started out supplying one restaurant and now supplies pickles across the McDonald's Australia business, as an example. Tony is one of many Australian suppliers who contributes to the approximate $1 billion we spend per year on produce. In 2016, we spent hundreds of millions of dollars on chicken, on beef. We purchased millions of litres of fresh milk that have helped make our McCafe brand the number one coffee brand in the country, and that's based on volume, possibly not everyone's taste in the room. And also purchased potatoes from Tasmania. And we're proud to supply this fresh produce into our restaurants day in and day out. The world-class quality Australian products are also highly regarded within the McDonald's system globally, with many of our restaurants across Asia, the US and the Middle East importing Australian beef each and every year. Although we're famous for our American heritage, our business also has a unique connection with Australia, which has been integrated into our culture like nowhere else. In Australia, we're Maccas, and that's come about purely through Aussies themselves putting their own stamp on our brand. The relationships Australians have with food, the interest and value they place on local sourcing, coupled with the willingness of McDonald's and our suppliers to adapt to their changing needs, they've played a key part in how we've evolved the brand here in Australia. An example of that is McCafe, which launched 25 years ago in Victoria. It's now a global brand for McDonald's. And as a point of note, we now sell almost as much coffee as we do French fries, which shows the changing face of the McDonald's business over the last 40 plus years we've been in the market. Our approach to innovation and the way we've partnered with our suppliers to respond to customer wants has been a big part of our ongoing strength in the Australian business. Today, more than ever though, what our customers are telling us is they want to know more about our food, how it's made, where it comes from, how it's produced, and how it makes its way into our McDonald's restaurants. And together with Australian farmers and our ag industry partners who supply our food, we know there's a really powerful story to be told. I'm going to share with you today some of the projects we've developed to inform our customers about our food journey and narrow the gap between the farm and the food they eat in our restaurants. Our Food Your Questions proved to us when we opened dialogue with consumers about our food, they're incredibly interested and engaged. We had an overwhelming response and answered thousands of questions regarding our food. And in fact, we had more than 25,000 questions in under 12 months. The most common question that came through to us was, has your Big Mac shrunk? The next 4 questions came back to sourcing and sourcing origins, which show that our Australian customers, the Australian consumer, really do care where our product is sourced from. We've coupled this with open door campaigns where we open our restaurants up to media, suppliers, to our consumers to see what happens back of house and how we produce our product for our customers. We do supply chain tours from the paddock to the plate, and we've also taken the opportunity to demonstrate to our customers where our great quality produce comes from, as seen with the Big Mac campaign which we ran in Tamworth in January.
We've been producing beef on this farm for 5 generations, and yes, I think we know a lot about producing great Aussie beef.
I think to come home and work in a family business that you own and love and your parents and family have built up is pretty special and unique, and you're very connected to the land and to the farm and the cattle.
The beef that's served in McDonald's restaurants around Australia comes from farms just like ours, spending their life on pasture and then ending up in a high-quality McDonald's hamburger. That is a fantastic product, a safe product and a delicious product.
I hope you can appreciate that's a consumer-facing version of farming from our marketing team. As I said at the start, when I introduced myself, I'm very new to my role and new to supply chain, and part of my commitment and a priority for us is to further strengthen our relationship with the agricultural industry. We've always prided ourselves on the 3-legged stool philosophy, and we know without strong collaborative relationships with our suppliers that we're not going to be able to continue to meet our suppliers' needs or meet the needs of our customers moving forward. So we look forward in the coming years. I can absolutely assure you that at McDonald's we're committed to continuing our long-standing relationships with the industry as we evolve. Once again, I'd like to thank New South Wales Farmers Federation for inviting me here today. I appreciate the opportunity to have an audience with you all. I'm around outside this afternoon if anyone would like to come and have a chat, and I do wish you well for the rest of your conference, and thank you for allowing McDonald's the opportunity to speak. Appreciate it.